Have you ever really looked at the cash in your pocket? I mean, truly examined it. It is the most sought-after object on the planet. It builds empires, starts wars, and changes hands millions of times a day. But before it becomes value, it is simply a masterpiece of industrial engineering. Every single day, about $541 million flow out of the printers. But the journey of these bills is far more complex than just putting ink on paper. The process is centralized in two heavily guarded fortresses, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing in Washington, D.C., and its Western facility in Fort Worth, Texas. These are more than factories. They are sovereign territories of print, operating under an insane attention to detail. It starts with a misconception. You've probably heard the term paper money. That is technically a lie. If you put a newspaper in a washing machine, it disintegrates. If you put a dollar bill in, it survives. Why? Because US currency isn't paper, it's fabric. It represents a specific, chemically durable blend of 75% cotton and 25% linen. This specialized substrate is supplied by the Crane Paper Company, which has held a strict monopoly on American currency paper for generations. It is illegal for anyone else to possess this specific blend. Embedded within its very fibers are red and blue security threads, scattered randomly throughout the mesh. They aren't printed on top, they are part of the chaotic structure of the material itself. Before the roar of the machines, there is the silence of the artist. The intricate designs of American currency are first drawn by hand. To transfer these sketches onto steel, master engravers use a device called a pantograph. It allows them to trace the design with microscopic precision, carving the steel plates with a unique signature that is nearly impossible to replicate. Once the master die is engraved, it goes through a rare process known as siderography. This acts like a transfer press. The original engraving is used to transfer the image onto a plastic master, which is then used to create hundreds of identical soft steel plates. It is a perfect cloning process, ensuring that every bill is mathematically identical to the original design. But soft steel isn't enough. These plates are about to face 20 tons of pressure. To survive the violence of the printing press, they are coated in chrome. This polishing process gives them a mirror-like finish and the hardness required to print millions of sheets without losing a single micron of detail. Now the printing begins, but not all bills are created equal. Denominations of $2 and up start with offset printing. This involves massive rollers that apply the background colors, those subtle peaches, purples, and greens. It essentially paints the canvas. The $1 bill, however, skips this step, which is why it retains that stark, classic look. Then comes the main event, intaglio printing. This is where the dollar gets its soul. These machines are beasts, 50 feet long and weighing a whopping 70 tons. They force the cotton linen paper into the recessed grooves of the plates under enormous pressure. It doesn't just deposit ink, it sculpts the paper. The paper leaves the intaglio press soaked in ink and fundamentally altered in texture. It cannot be touched yet. The sheets are racked and stored for a mandatory 72-hour drying period. This 3-day wait is crucial. If the ink isn't perfectly cured, the next steps would ruin the batch. This high-pressure printing allows for features that defy the naked eye. On the $100 bill, for instance, there is micro-printing hidden within Benjamin Franklin's collar. It reads, United States of America. To a counterfeiter's scanner, this looks like a solid line. But under magnification, the truth is revealed. Quality control is automated and ruthless. The sheets pass through the offline currency inspection system. Specialized cameras scan both sides of the sheet simultaneously at a rate of 2.5 sheets per second. If a drop of ink is out of place or a corner is folded, the system flags it instantly. The survivors move to the letterpress. This is the moment the paper becomes legal tender. This machine stamps the green treasury seal and, most importantly, the serial numbers. No two bills share the same number. If a sheet was destroyed during inspection, a star note is printed to replace it, marked by a small star at the end of the serial number, a rare prize for collectors. Finally, the massive sheets meet the blade. Industrial guillotines slice through the stacks horizontally and vertically. They cut the bills to their precise, legally mandated dimensions, exactly 6.14 inches long and 2.61 inches wide. Bundled into bricks of 4,000 notes and shrink-wrapped on skids, the money is loaded onto armored transport trucks. It is now the property of the Federal Reserve, ready to be injected into the global economy. But while paper money is an efficient business, costing just cents to produce, the story of coins is heavier. Leaving the world of ink and cotton, we enter the world of fire and metal. Welcome to the US Mint. Here, efficiency battles against physics. While bills are printed, coins are forged. It begins with coils of metal 1,500 feet long. They are punched into discs called blanks. The composition depends on the value. Quarters and dimes use a cupro nickel alloy for that silver shine. Pennies, contrary to their look, are 97.5% zinc, merely plated with a thin layer of copper. To accept a design, metal must be soft. The blanks travel through an annealing furnace, heated to a staggering 950 degrees Fahrenheit. This relaxes the molecular structure of the metal, preparing it for the violence of the strike. In a fraction of a second, a steel die hits the blank with a force between 60 and 160 tons. The metal flows like liquid into the crevices of the die, immortalizing the profiles of Washington, Lincoln, or Jefferson. But here lies a controversy. As money becomes electronic, the physical manufacturing of low-value coins is becoming a financial burden. It costs the US government approximately 1.6 to 2 cents to manufacture a single penny. We are literally spending money to lose money. With rising metal costs, accounting errors, and environmental concerns regarding the minting facilities, the future of the coin is uncertain. In a digital world, heavy metal currency is an anchor to the past. Yet, despite the rise of crypto and credit, the physical US dollar remains the heartbeat of the world. It is hoarded in vaults in Europe, exchanged in markets in Asia, and trusted in corners of the world where local currencies have failed. So the next time you hold a dollar, feel the texture. You aren't just holding money. You are holding a blend of cotton, linen, ink, and metal. A survivor of 20 tons of pressure and 950 degrees of heat. A masterpiece of American engineering